Sometimes I have a lot of young men telling me that they feel a little bit lost. So let's talk about the reasons why. Welcome back to Maps to Manhood. For a long time, becoming a successful man followed a pretty clear path. You got yourself a steady job, you worked hard, you learned some practical skills, and if you stuck with it, you could build a pretty decent life. But the world has changed a lot. Today's economy is very different. These days, there's much bigger focus on university degrees, on technology, on office jobs and digital skills. So if you're someone who learns best by actually doing things with your hands, or if school was never really your thing, it can feel like the world suddenly stopped valuing what you're naturally good at. And if you felt that frustration, you're not imagining it. The rules really have changed. The old roadmap doesn't work the same way anymore, which means you need a completely different set of skills to find your place. Another thing that's changed is what it even means to be a man. For generations, guys grew up knowing what was expected of them. You were supposed to provide, you were supposed to protect. Now, whether you agree with that or not, there was at least a clear role for men. Today, society is much more equal, and that's brought a lot of positives with it. But it also has left a lot of young men wondering, so what's my role now? Or I'm not sure what it is I have to figure out, and by when, and how will I know that I have? The old script has disappeared, but nobody's really replaced it with a new one. And to make things even more confusing, a lot of what you hear online or in the media is about what men shouldn't be. Don't be this, don't be that. And more negative criticism of men is happening. But very few people actually stop and say, here's what a strong, trustworthy, dependable, purposeful man looks like today. When all you're hearing is what not to become, it's easy to start second guessing yourself. You play it safe, you hold back, you stay on the sidelines because you're worried about getting things wrong. And then there's something else that's quietly affecting almost every young guy today. Real friendships. They're getting harder to find. A generation or two ago, men naturally built friendships through work, sport, local clubs, community groups, or just kind of hanging around together. A lot of those places, men's spaces, have disappeared altogether. The result is that young men today have fewer close mates than almost any generation before them. So if you've ever felt isolated, if you've ever felt like you don't really have a group of blokes who genuinely have your back, you're far from the only one. We're living through a time where loneliness has become incredibly common, and trying to figure life out by yourself is one of the hardest things that you can do. And that's where the digital world steps in. When real life feels confusing, lonely, or overwhelming, your phone, your gaming, social media are kind of always there. Video games give you missions to complete, a sense of accomplishment. Social media gives you endless entertainment. Online communities make you feel like you belong somewhere. And belonging is a good thing. However, we still have to develop real-world skills, and some people believe that the digital world is hampering the development of real-world skills. The apps and algorithms are literally designed to keep your attention for as long as possible. Also, as I mentioned in a past video, there are almost zero organised male rites of passage to manhood. If you had been through a ritual designed to take you closer to entering manhood, you would feel less lost as a result. And sometimes young men feel lost simply because they are between two worlds. The child has ended, but the adult world is still slightly out of reach. And that's like being in a fog, and it's hard to see the next step in a fog. And the other thing, of course, is meaning. You may not have worked out what has meaning to you yet. And meaning, of course, is attached to purpose. not knowing what I'm here for yet or what I'm supposed to do. That's all normal. When you have found a purpose, all your decisions become instantly organised for you and feeling lost falls away. So I'll be doing a video on finding purpose because that's mega important in all of this.
What's your purpose?
So if you've been feeling a bit lost lately, don't automatically assume there's something wrong with you. It doesn't mean that you're failing in some way. It means you're trying to find your way through a world that's changed faster than anyone really prepared you for. There is pressure to have everything figured out. You're trying to navigate brand new territory with a map that might not exist for you yet, or nobody has drawn for you yet. But the good news is this. Once you realise the map has changed, you can start drawing a new one that's uniquely right for you. But that doesn't happen overnight. It happens one small, real world step at a time. In the next video, I'll talk about starting to remedy these issues so you can start walking more confidently through that fog of lostness. So hang on in there because I'm going to do part 1 and part 2 of these videos. All right, I'll see you in the next one.